Mark Smarts and Last fans, welcome back to Welcome Back Wrestling.
Thanks for coming back. We hope you guys are safe out there.
Yeah, I hope you're really safe. And my name is Izzy McCoy as usually.
And I'm always DJ Matrix.
I'm Izzy McCoy as usually.
Yeah.
As if I would be something else.
But welcome back.
Yeah.
How was the week?
I had a dope photo shoot Sunday, I think. I don't remember what day, to be honest, but it was dope, and I posted it up, and people were liking it. If you want to, look at my photography out there, my Instagram is at Great House Vision.
So I feel like you just brought that up just to say that, because you said something nonsensical, and then it was like, oh yeah, I'm a photographer as well. It's like I had a photo shoot. I don't know when, I don't know with who, I don't know what the theme was, but I did. Trust me.
It was on the beach, I can tell you that. I can't tell you what you were doing.
Oh, the one with the butter pecan. That's
Yes. That one.
I'll bleep his name out.
For anybody listening, be like, oh, is cheating again. Now I'm just gonna keep saying stuff like that because I know he's gonna be bleeped out. There he goes. There's still another girlfriend. All right.
Damn, Mrs. But every week we're gonna bring up something that we feel is missing from wrestling. This week, factions. Well, at least in WWE. Factions,
I was about to say that too.
Yeah.
Before we started, I was gonna be like, it's not really missing from the whole landscape of wrestling,
right?
But it's missing from WWE.
Definitely from the WWE
because they have they run 3-man groups now. They don't really have 4 to 5.
Yeah, they're not getting anything past trios. At least the main roster. I mean, we have two factions now. We have the Pablo Escobar group, the new Pablo with the.
That's in NXT though, isn't it?
That's NXT. As I'm saying, NXT you have 2 factions. You have NXT UK has Imperium. That's NXT UK. Yeah, the Undisputed Era and the Pablo Escobar group. And on the main
Pablo Escobar. They're gonna speak out against you next.
That's okay. I'm good.
You're racist.
I don't care.
But yeah, and there's there's a lot of good factions over in New Japan.
Yes.
New Japan is based on factions.
Yeah, if you're not in a faction, you just really just stuck out in the middle of nowhere. You get those opening matches with 6 men that they're not a part of anything. They're just broken toys. Nobody wants to see them.
Yeah, and so it's a very weird, to bring up factions as it's missing from wrestling. I guess we'd say it's missing from WWE because you only get these 3-man groups. You don't get the 5, the Nation had 5 guys.
Right.
DX had 5 guys.
Right.
You don't get the 5-man group in wrestling.
I love the Nation to dominate. They had Owen Hart. It was a clear take of the Black Panther Party or something like that with Owen Hart.
But the Nation did start out with white people.
Yeah.
Remember they had them white guys that were rapping?
Yeah.
Because the Nation wasn't supposed to be
all black group.
A black group. It was it was fake Islamic group, right?
Right. And they had Ahmed Johnson.
But he couldn't wrestle.
He was bad. He was real bad.
He was the Nia Jax of his time.
I remember Ahmed Johnson. He's one of the wrestlers that I remember seeing on Saturday afternoons, battling Bam Bam Bigelow. And I remember he took off Vader's mask. He was never a great wrestler, but he was super strong.
He was getting a great push too. So now we're gonna get into this week's topics. Jesse, you want to run down the topics?
So this week we're going to talk about Raw, and they're finishing the trade, the AJ Styles trade, with Dolph Ziggler and Roode coming over to the Red brand. See how that materializes, as well as Ziggler challenging for the WWE Championship at Extreme Rules. We all know who's going to win, but
Claymore.
Right. We'll also be talking about Smackdown. Matt Riddle made his debut against the new Intercontinental Champion AJ Styles, and a LumberJack match, which is really good. We'll talk about that. SmackDown's not the only one. AEW also had a new signing in Ricky Starks. He made his debut against...
Say his real name. We're talking about Absolute Ricky Starks here. The men call him Absolute Ricky Starks, but the ladies call him Stroke Daddy.
Okay, I'm not calling him that, but you can. He made his debut against Cody in his weekly TNT Championship match.
That's going to be a really hard thing to say. Do you like it better than television title?
I mean, it doesn't matter. All right, our main event, with the conclusion of The Last Ride, Undertaker documentary, which is actually pretty good. Spoiler alert.
But what's first up? What's our hot topic?
So first up, It's actually not a funny topic.
Nope, not at all.
No, hashtag speaking on Twitter, a lot of women, well, not only women, but men, are sharing their stories of sexual abuse or other sexual crimes done against them in the wrestling industry. Unfortunately, a large amount are in the UK scene, also trickle over to American scene. We had a couple firings. The WWE fired Jack Gallagher almost immediately. The NWA, they parted ways with Dave Lagana, longtime writer for WWE, TNA, Ring of Honor, and NWA. AEW has suspended both Sammy Guevara and Jimmy Havoc. And we have multiple accusers, including Joey Ryan, Impact Wrestling, Matt Riddle, who we'll talk about later, Velveteen Dream recently, and David Starr, and even Jim Cornette.
Those are people that have been accused.
Right.
Where I think investigations are still happening with some of those.
Yep.
But David Starr is pretty much... That's a open and cut case there. David Starr was saying some pretty inflammatory remarks.
Yeah,
it's the remorselessness of how he was saying it too. Just, you know.
I mean, yeah, there's a video of him talking about some things. We'll retweet it, but yeah.
We're not going to say it on our podcast because we like our podcast and we want to keep having a podcast.
We just got on iTunes, so
yeah. Not trying to get ripped off of this platform or stripped. Like my man David Starr got stripped.
Yeah, he got stripped of multiple championships. A lot of companies are saying they won't book him anymore. Him being an independent wrestler.
Of the purest form.
Right. He's not tied to any company, so therefore, it looks like he's got to find another line of work.
Yep. David Starr went from being a star wrestler to probably a star janitor somewhere. Real short and then...
Yeah.
Unless he has some kind of other talents that... Maybe he can code.
He's got to start an OnlyFans.
That actually probably work. You probably get some money off that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know?
Everyone
just got to come up with a new name because my man Ricky Starks got Stroke Daddy.
I'm not using that.
I'm sorry, that's a fire name. Stroke Daddy? Come on, Stroke Daddy. That's the best wrestling gimmick name ever.
His name is Ricky Starks.
Nope, it's Stroke Daddy. I hope one day our podcast, you guys can help us with this podcast by sharing, liking, subscribing to this podcast, and that way it will, raise to the level where I can interview Absolute Ricky Starr, aka the Stroke.
That's the goal. I think that'll be our last episode.
What of the year?
No, last episode ever is you interviewing Ricky Starks, because I'm like, it's not going to get any better than that. So you got to drop the mic right there.
But back to the speaking out topic, I feel as if some of these people, you gotta understand. My mom used to tell me, so a lot of people going, oh, these people didn't know. It's like, yes, you did. I remember being 13 years old and my mom telling me, watch what you put on the internet. Mm-hmm. She being smart enough to know, like, this is a place where anybody can see it. It's worldwide. It never truly goes anywhere. Somebody can save it. Yep. So even if it is erased from anywhere, somebody can save it. You know what I'm saying? So I've always been very, very selective of what I say on any platform. My Twitter is non-existent. I had it for like 2 days, and then I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna be here. I really just have an Instagram. Mm-hmm. I don't really have a Snapchat. I was sending too many pics. And
they canceled your account.
No, they didn't cancel it. I canceled it because I felt like this is gonna get.
That reminds me of when I canceled my Tinder account back then. I was momentarily single, and then I got on Tinder and we matched. It was great, and she immediately asked me for a pic. I'm like, oh, this is Satan's app. I gotta get rid of this.
So after you sent her the pic,
yeah, I had to wait for a review, and then
you said I had to wait for a review. Because let's get it straight. I don't care if you're out here sending pics or talking to people in provocative nature. Mm-hmm. It comes down to, when is the world going to just realize that no means no and only have sex when you get a yes? Why was that? That sounded like a after school special. No means no and only have sex when there's a yes.
If you fire people, just have sex with people that want to have sex with them. If we could just have that, awesome. Anybody listening to this, just do that. And
just
then tell
have
other
sex
people to
with
do
the
that.
people that want to have sex with you.
Right.
Like if somebody doesn't want to have sex with you,
right,
don't have sex with them.
Plus,
like
you shouldn't have to force them to, like, you shouldn't have to be like a used car salesman to try to get some vagina. She should just want to give it to you.
There's no such thing as a counter offer.
No.
in sex. It just doesn't.
You can't barter sex. Don't do that.
No.
This is not the 1800s.
And remember, Jeffrey Epstein didn't.
He definitely didn't kill himself.
All right. Moving on to the next topic, we got Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode. He's still Robert?
Yeah, he's still Robert Roode because he's still heel. He's only Bobby Roode. Is he still a heel?
I have no idea. I haven't seen him on TV forever.
He's one of those guys that it just depends on what they need for the night, is if he's a heel or a face.
Okay, so I guess
he's a natural heel to me because I remember him TNA. He was a great heel in TNA.
First of all, I thought being called Bobby is better at being a heel because, like, when he was like coming out glorious, and your name is Bobby, and you should be a happy dude, but you're still a
yeah,
that's a better heel to me. But
everybody's singing along to your song, and you're still like,
shut up.
Yeah,
cutting that out.
Yeah,
but yeah. I don't know why, his name got changed to Robert. But Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode get traded over from Smackdown to Raw in exchange for AJ Styles, which I do like because if this was a real trade,
right?
Wrestling's not real.
That would actually
be
a pretty even trade, I feel like.
When it comes to like trades in the agencies.
Right.
But you're right. It would be an even trade.
Yeah, because if it's AJ for either Bobby or...
It's a dumb trade. Who's making that trade? Why would I trade AJ Styles for Dolph Ziggler?
No. I want to know who I would trade AJ Styles for. Like one to one?
1-to-1? I would probably trade... Damn, that's a hard
Daniel
one.
Bryan, maybe?
I think that's the only swap.
1-to-1. Brock? But Brock is not going to be around as much as
Brock
AJ,
it depends on how you value Brock.
Right.
Because if you're valuing Brock to bring in... Because I would say in certain situations, then it wouldn't be an even trade. Brock would probably be valued a little bit more than AJ.
Right.
But if you're talking about who's going to show up every f***ing week, then AJ's a little bit more valued than Brock.
I think
probably
he's the most valuable wrestler in the WWE. Him and Randy. Seth, maybe.
I think Randy might be an even trade. I can understand
Randy
it.
for AJ, yeah.
I can understand it. I can understand AJ for Seth. I could understand it. AJ for Drew McIntyre. Now,
I don't know.
His stock in my mind went up.
Drew's stock is higher. It's not quite the level of AJ.
But I mean, I would understand if they said that trade 1-on-1. I would still feel like somebody won.
Right.
But it wouldn't be like, oh, you got blown. Like, that trade was trash. No. If it was like, we've traded Bobby Roode for AJ Styles. Just Bobby?
Yeah. That trade is trash.
I'd be like, that's garbage. But if you was to be like, I'm trading Drew McIntyre for AJ Styles, I can see maybe you want, I wish they... Actually, I feel like we're talking more about trades than actually Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode. I feel like if wrestling was to figure that out, how to make wrestling feel...
Like a sport?
Like
when New Japan does
with real trades, real free agency, real all that.
That's what this whole brand extension, brand split, whatever, is supposed to be. It's supposed to be like two competing shows. They should look and feel different. They don't, because they're all run by the same person. Like, if you actually, it's too bad, because I feel like if you really had Paul Heyman have a Paul Heyman show, like 100% pure, you would just stop him at certain, like, all right, you got chill. And then you're doing a lot.
Real close to speaking out movement, bro.
Yeah,
like, you need to stop.
You're doing a lot. But yeah, if you just like let him do him, and then you just oversee that, and you let Bruce or Eric before him do their thing, it'll be two great shows. But his hands are so like interweaving into the product, and
he doesn't really watch sports.
No, so he doesn't get it.
Yeah, so he doesn't understand that. Like, we would love to sit there and watch an actual... if you had a draft special, you know how they always... the draft will be separated 2 days. It's like, dude, you have a fucking streaming service.
Yeah.
Why don't you just put a draft special on your streaming service, you idiot?
WWE Network is not... WWE Network is not leveraged at all appropriately. Like, you have a whole network at your disposal. You should have, like, a nightly news, like a Sports Center with WWE, and have, like... They have dope documentaries, which we'll talk about later in the last ride. But you should have more of those all the time. It should be a place where you really like do major character.
I don't want to waste too much on this because it's not the topic. The topic is Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode, which shows you, like I said before, shows you where they're at. That we can't even talk about y'all right now. No, we can't. What we gonna talk about? You get jobbed out. That's what's gonna happen.
Right.
You're about to get jobbed out of Extreme Rules.
Facts.
We need another good match, but somebody has to lose. Call Ziggler. You know what I'm saying? Also, this AJ trade does not make sense.
No.
throw Bobby in there. But if they were to package the shows and utilize that network, they could increase their viewership back into, I believe, 3-4 million mark, because you would have people that are invested, and you're cross promoting NXT with Raw, with SmackDown, with your network, because you're having draft specials on the network, which are crucial to the storyline. You're getting, if they had like a backstage show on the network, like a real which just covered like analysis and breakdowns and stuff like that.
If you look at, was it the MCU? Probably the biggest franchise of all time at this point now by sales. They leveraged, before they had the Disney Channel or Disney Plus, Netflix, and those became wildly popular shows, just having to rub off the MCU name, and then they would like interweave some MCU stuff in there. So you could totally do that with, like, you have Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and then you'd have like interweaving stories and like more closer in-depth stories on the network.
Exactly.
They don't do it.
Yeah, because they're trash. Instead, we had Camp WWE. I won't watch that.
So, yeah, those guys, Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode were, like we said, traded for AJ Styles, who is a new Intercontinental Champion. He faced off versus a new arrival, Matt Riddle, in a LumberJack match, which was really good. Ended with Mr. Matt Riddle going over due to a distraction from Daniel Bryan on AJ Styles.
He hit him with Bro Derek.
Matt Riddle hit AJ Styles with the Bro Derek, which is funny because the Styles Clash and the Bro Derek
are similar.
They look very similar moves.
Except he doesn't have to like lock your legs.
He does lock your legs and like around.
No, I'm talking about I said legs. I'm a jack.
Oh, the arms. Yeah.
He doesn't use his legs to lock in your arm. It's kind of like an equalizer.
Or like a tombstone pile driver, but over rotation. Instead of going down on your knees, you go down, you flip the person on their back.
How does the equalizer end?
The equalizer?
That's what it's called. The neutralizer.
The neutralizer.
The neutralizer.
Cesaro's.
Yes.
It ends in a face plant.
In a face plant?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Because they're very similar, the neutralizer and the Bro Derek.
It's kind of like the pedigree.
Oh, it ends in like a so he brings him up, kind of like Matt Riddle brings him up, but it ends in a pedigree. And Matt Riddle ends on destroying your back, his body. I love this match. It showed off. First of all, I don't know if I could say this match shows you how good Matt Riddle is, because I think AJ Styles can elevate a trash can. AJ Styles could elevate anybody. Yeah, so I don't really know if we can evaluate Matt Riddle right now off the AJ Styles match. We already know Matt Riddle's great. Yeah, so basically I don't know how to evaluate Matt Riddle off this match because he was with such a great wrestler in AJ Styles. But we already know Matt Riddle is fire, and he's probably going to be a tremendous asset to SmackDown roster, especially because they had the tragic loss of Bobby and Dolph Ziggler. Such great talent. They're such great talent, To lose them, you need a Matt Riddle.
To think about it, I don't know how fair that AJ Styles trade.
You probably need a third person.
I feel like an AJ Styles trade should be the equal of like 2 superstars or like 3 good mid-carders. So like, Bobby Roode, Dolph, and then somebody, I don't know.
Oh, Roman's another trade I would accept.
Oh, yeah, 1 for 1? Yeah.
I would accept Roman.
Yeah.
But anybody who's in the title picture that you're trying to actually push as a title contender, and I mean a true title picture. Yeah, somebody could say, well, Dolph's in the title picture. It's like no, he's not really in the
I wouldn't even
picture.
Trade Adam Cole 1-to-1 for
AJ.
AJ. Although I really do like.
I wouldn't.
I really do like, and he's still young. He's got a few years in him, so he's gonna be a main eventer for a long time. But the problem is he's even smaller than AJ is, so Vince is never gonna push him the way he should be pushed. He's gonna be pushed like Shorty G.
Adam Cole does have a strange body. Like, he has a really big head.
Right.
Then his upper torso is small, but then his legs are big.
Yeah.
It's
like he only did leg day.
Yeah. His chest. What the is that?
He was so afraid of skipping leg day. He just does like that.
But he's great. Let's not make this a joke on his work. His
promo
amazing.
work is probably the best in the game right now. Like, whew, yo, imagine a program between him and MJF.
That'd be fire.
Dog.
That'd be a fire promo.
Yo, every week.
I want MJF to get his own faction. I think that would be awesome.
Well, they were talking about maybe them having a 4 horsemen like faction in AEW. MJF, FTR, and I guess like Shawn Spears. So they would be like the new Four Horsemen.
I do like Shawn Spears. He's gotten musk into his departure from WWE, and I think his work is really
much better.
It's really
they really missed the boat on him in WWE. Another in a long line of missing the boat on guys. And yeah, his work in AEW has been good so far. I think he's just scratching the surface, especially with him and Tully. Tully's really good on the mic.
What I do like though is, what's that girl that just seemingly joined the Dark Order?
Oh yeah, I'm forgetting her name, but unimportant.
I feel like that faction.
Ali J, I think.
Ali J or Aja J, something J, Dark Order person.
Yes,
and she's gonna be there.
Yeah.
And that faction is gonna be like 35 people, and I'm really excited about this because for some reason, like when the NWO did it, it was like you didn't need to. The Dark Order is going to end up being like 7 to 10 people, but for a reason that I understand.
But what I like about it too is like they're slowly growing in numbers. So like when they first started, you kind of didn't take them seriously, and it's gonna get to the point where there's so many of them. It's like wow, they're just really overtaking. It's like when they had Nexus in the WWE, like one of them by themselves were just okay. Like having Wade Barrett or Daniel Bryan at the time or Ryback, one of them is fine. But once you put all like 6, 7 of them in one and then beat everybody down, it's a total different game. Speaking of AEW, they have a brand new signing, Ricky Starks.
Which it goes to further show that AEW is way better than WWE. Because in this time, WWE is cutting people, and AEW is signing people. And they signed one of my favorite independent guys, absolute Ricky Starks for the gentlemen out there. And for the ladies, they call him Stroke Daddy.
That's what the ladies call him.
Yep, Stroke Daddy.
Not me.
In the middle of speaking out, we're still calling people Stroke Daddy. I don't get it, but I get it, and I love it.
I don't know how long
that's gonna last with this speaking out stuff, but I'm going to enjoy it while it's here because any man who comes out calls himself. Here's my thing: if you're heel, I think you're allowed to be misogynistic because you should also be everything else that's bad. Like, you're a bad guy. I hate when I hear people go, oh, well, you're a bad guy, but you should have, like, moral ethics. That's not a bad guy. A person who is a bad guy doesn't have morals or ethics. They don't give a shit. They're doing whatever they do to win. They're saying whatever they want to say. Now, yes, there's certain things I believe should be off limit. I don't think a heel bad guy should say anything overly racist.
Right.
I don't think any heel bad guy should say something about rape. There's no place for that. But like misogyny, yeah, go ahead. If you hate people, you should say I hate people. You know what I'm saying? Because you're supposed to. MJF is a perfect example of this. But I feel like what separates a heel from an actual person who is a misogynist or racist or anything, I should feel like that heel hates everybody. And I feel like MJF thinks he's better than everybody. And I don't think it's a basis of, oh, I'm a white guy, so I think I'm better than black people. MJF's like, I'm MJF, and everybody else is everybody else, and I hate them.
I think, you know what a perfect heel is? Thanos.
My mother.
No. Oh. So, update, guys. We're recording someplace else next week. Sorry.
I'll be kicked out of my mother's basement.
We'll be over at the public park.
We'll be at the Ritz-Carlton on the outside.
So the perfect heel is Thanos because the perfect heel thinks that what they're doing is actually right.
Yeah.
And they're so deep in their convictions, doesn't matter how crazy it is. They think they're the hero in them. And the best bad guys think, no, I'm the best champion for you. I'm the best looking, I'm the best talker. You know, I'm great with the ladies, I'm great with my money. And they really think that. So they're the good guys in their story, in their mind.
Yeah, in their mind, they're the good guys. Right. And what makes a bad guy to them is anybody that's trying to take what they have. Right. And it's
like I cheat to win, but that means I'm trying to win at all costs. Why would you root for a guy that follows all the rules when there's guys like me that break the rules and win?
You should like winners.
Right.
Yeah, I think there's two perfect heels. There's that one, which would be like the Ric Flairs of the world. Right. Who else was like that? Ric Flair, you had, going back in history,
Eddie Guerrero.
You had, I'm trying to think of that dude, Classy Freddie Blassie.
Yeah, Nick Bockwinkel.
Falls in that line. But then I feel like you have the Joker. So you have the Thanoses and then you have the Jokers. It's okay to have somebody that's just like, I'm evil because I'm evil. Right? That's a little bit harder line to draw in wrestling. I've met a Satanist. and he had an entire good reason, good rationality to why he worshipped Satan. Like, it all made sense the way he said it to me, which it should. If you worship something, you should be able to logically make it make to somebody else. The one thing that seemingly did not make sense about what he was saying was when he went, and that's why I love the Father of Darkness. I was like, so okay, so you just said all this stuff, and it ends with, that's why I love the Father of Darkness. It's like the Prince of Wickedness. That's what he called him. And I'm like, okay, so you're acknowledging he's a piece of shit.
Yeah, Ricky Starks made an incredible debut against Cody and his TNT Championship match.
That belt still looks trash.
Yeah, I mean, eventually it's going to get changed.
Yeah, COVID-19 is probably complicating shipping and handling of champions.
So yeah, a very strong debut. We'll see how...
He got hit with a nasty... I don't know what Cody Rhodes... What's that called?
What?
His finisher is called again?
Oh, the Crossroads.
Yeah, it's just gotten nastier, right?
Yeah.
Like, I remember Crossroads in like, WWE was like a...
It was just a roll.
It was a roll. And he was like, there's no impact to the face at all. He just rolled with him, and then he got the pin somehow. But now, it looks like he destroys, like, your spinal column, like, the entire thing. And you go down really rough. It looks really rough.
Hopefully no one gets really injured.
Hopefully they do. Nah, cut that out.
WWE Network presents Undertaker, The Last Ride documentary. Just finished up on Sunday, part 5. So I guess it went pretty much the same run of weeks as The Last Dance. But extremely...
Oh, because was The Last Dance putting out 2 episodes?
2 episodes a week. 10...
Yeah, because I didn't watch it. I just watched it all lumped together. Right. And a lot of Magic Johnson. Yes. Magic Johnson. A lot of Michael Jordan.
Yeah, Last Ride on WWE Network wrapped up on Sunday. Great documentary, seeing the behind the scenes. For 30 years of The Undertaker, he always stayed true to his gimmick.
I'm so happy. That's one thing I will call Vincent. The fact that he has the presence of mind. Even in the back then when he was actually trying to keep kayfabe kind of intact, he had the presence of mind to keep those cameras. Yeah. So he has all this archive footage.
There's so much footage. Yeah.
He can make probably great world-class document. He could live off just documentaries.
I would watch hours of the raw video footage, like just unedited, just them just shooting the breeze or whatever.
And they're rolling cameras during the beginning, like the beginning we don't see, but like that they come to the ring, they all practice a little bit, talking. I would that could be a show on the network.
God, I would watch that
before Raw.
Like, I'd watch that all of the time. It doesn't even have to be updated stuff. It could be like some old stuff from like the 2000s, 90s, whatever.
Talking Smack
I used to love Talking
proved that that's the direction they should, because we were all watching it. And I don't give a if you're trying to still run the storylines through those shows, because Talking Smack ran storylines through while being also more realistic. And that was a great thing. But
that Miz and Daniel Bryan,
it made Miz. I'm not saying he wasn't made before,
right?
But that
he became a serious contender.
Yeah, it made me, But back to Undertaker's documentary, I think it was an amazing documentary. This 5-part series was amazing. We all got to see what we've been clamoring for ages with Undertaker, which is Mark Calloway and who that is. We obviously know because the internet. You used to play basketball in college. There's certain things but what you can't know is how he interacts with his kids. We definitely didn't know that. How he interacts with his wife, his current wife. I don't think we're ever going to talk about. His
father, his brother.
I didn't know his brother died.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Just before the Boneyard match, which sucks. In hell, hard, no lube.
All that is bleeped.
But no, seriously, that was actually a moment during the documentary I almost cried, because I didn't COVID-19 and come on, let's be honest, Kobe. He even said, he mentioned Kobe Bryant dying being really tough for him and stuff like that, and then your brother died. That was
Kobe Bryant. Like, his death was crazy because he's one of those guys that you just don't. Like, some people, you don't ever think of dying.
Yeah, you don't.
Like, if they died, like, what? There's no way they died. Like, for a few people, like Mac Miller, for instance, was one guy when they say he died. I'm like, no, he didn't die. It's like, same thing with Kobe. Like,
honestly, I felt the same way with Pop Smoke. Even though Pop Smoke was like...
Yeah, that was really like out of the blue, like wow.
I don't want to say even like make it like, oh, that's a more acceptable. It's not. But it's like, even though you're in that lane of gangster rap and all that stuff, we're getting shot at is kind of sometimes a variable that may happen.
It's a thing that happens.
I was just sitting there like, dog, what happened? Like, how did he die? He just got here. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And he's really starting to make a buzz. Like,
and that brings me to one of my understandings that I took away. And that brings me to one of my understandings that I took away from the Undertaker documentary is I'm so happy because watching that Goldberg suplex, I'm so happy that he left on his terms and he didn't leave getting injured. He didn't leave because he was forced out. He left because he wanted to.
Right.
And I hope he embraces being Mark Calloway now. And opens up. And I like the fact that he's doing interviews because a lot of people don't realize with these artists, these athletes, their lives don't really start until their career's over.
Oh yeah, so we have to fast forward for a bit. The Undertaker basically announced his retirement. That last match with AJ Styles pretty much felt like a good capper to his entire career.
He came back. I'd be excited to see him, but I respect his decision as a fan, and as a fan, because people ask me who my favorite wrestler is. Like, there's a difference between who I think is the greatest and who I think my favorites are. Undertaker's always been my favorite wrestler.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I think last week you asked me, like, who I think's the greatest at something, right? And I was like, yeah, I would say, like, AJ Styles or Kenny Omega. I think their movesets, their ability in the ring, the way they work, just amazing. And the thing, but Undertaker's my favorite wrestler, only because I was so enamored as a kid with that gimmick that I was just sitting there like, bro, this is fire. He shoots lightning out of his face. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm so happy. Like, I know I'm beating a dead horse now, but I'm very happy that he didn't get severely injured.
Yeah, they show
he gets to retire.
The slowdown of Goldberg, a concussed Goldberg, attempting to give the Undertaker a jackhammer, and he almost spiked the Undertaker's head directly.
Basically, it was a brain buster.
Yeah,
a real brain buster.
A real brain buster.
Yeah. I don't even know how. To be honest with you, like, you seen how it happened.
Yeah.
He was angled.
Right.
So for the people that can't
he's gonna get spiked. He's gonna get spiked.
Yeah, he was at like a 45-degree angle, the wrong direction.
If he didn't tuck his chin, or I don't know if Goldberg like gave him a good tuck.
Yeah.
So he let him roll.
It looked like Goldberg tried to
tuck him. Yeah.
The bicep under the back of the neck to like roll him.
Yeah.
But he didn't do that.
No.
Yeah, that's dead Taker.
Yeah.
Like, or very severely paralyzed.
Goldberg had at least a little bit of sense to be like, I don't want to, like, I'm falling down, but I'm going to try to save him
Scoop
too.
that. Yeah, scoop that. Imagine we would just let him go.
Yeah.
That'd have been.
He's been paralyzed.
I remember watching that match, and I was just like, bro, that's also another reason why I did not understand this man beating Bray Wyatt, because I was just like, you almost, like, the last match I seen you in, really, bro?
What I love about this Last Ride documentary as well, it's like, he didn't pull any punches on how he felt about stuff.
Yeah.
Like, he was very disappointed in himself with the Roman match. Like, he felt like, because what a lot of people felt like, that was him passing the torch to Roman as the new locker room. And he felt very strongly that he should have been, like, at his top of his game, so when Roman beats him, he beats the best Undertaker that he can get.
He was very harsh and critical of himself in that match. Which,
that was supposed to be his retirement match, and that was, 3 years ago?
And he also said how he wanted to go. He should have went
with
Shawn.
Yeah, with
yeah,
Shawn.
that he feels like he should have left with Shawn. Honestly, bro, this is my opinion. And maybe I'm not as jaded as most wrestling fans. Happy that wasn't your last match. I'm happy that Shawn Michaels wasn't your last match, because then I got the CM Punk match, which was really good.
Yeah.
Then I got the Brock Lesnar match, which a lot of people hate. I like. I'm sorry. I feel like you should, pass torches on to people. And let's be honest. You can say it didn't work. It did work.
Yeah.
Brock is the most relevant monster in wrestling.
Yeah.
He can just destroy anybody at ease. And that was really what Taker gave him.
Oh my god, it was shocking. I remember they had a rumor that Brock Lesnar was going into business for himself.
Yeah.
So he just shoot pinned the Undertaker and beat him. It was never supposed to happen because it was so shocking. Nobody thought he's not gonna lose at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I remember going into that match. I didn't like that match because I know you're gonna lose. This is what I was thinking in my head. Right. I know Brock's gonna lose, right. And this is a different Brock. Right. People forget this was a Brock who lost to Cena and Triple H. Just he came back, he jobbed.
I didn't understand. Yeah, when he first came back, they immediately jobbed him.
He started jobbing.
Yeah, to Cena.
And I was just looking at it and like I said, Triple H beat him too. I was sitting there like, yo,
I think that what that was.
Why make a big deal about bringing this man back?
Vince was upset, so I guess he felt like he had to humble him first, which doesn't make it there's a lot of ego stuff that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. So when I was looking at this match so it's the Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar. We're jobbing out Brock again.
Right.
And I was kind of upset because I was just like, I may be one of the few people on planet Earth that was actually, and I'm an Undertaker fan, going, I hope Brock wins. Because I was just like, it doesn't make sense for him to come back and just get washed every match.
Plus the build wasn't great.
No.
The match wasn't great.
No.
Because I think what happened, what was said, was Undertaker got a concussion early on, and he doesn't rember majority of it.
The match. He got rushed to the hospital. That's the only footage that I wish would have seen an Undertaker documentary. What happened that night? I actually liked the end of that match. I liked the fact that it looked like Brock beat his ass. Yeah. I liked the fact that it looked like Brock asserted himself that night. It was like, oh, I'm not losing no more. And then right after that, we get Suplex City with.
I just wish the match was better. That's all.
No, I do too. But I give you a pass if you're telling me you was concussed, and I have no reason not to believe you, Undertaker. Then I'm taking it and I'm going.
He didn't look bad concussed. Physically. He just looked like he didn't know what the hell was going on.
Yeah, he looked. Yeah,
and also, if you got your bell rung, to be thrown repeatedly on the back of your head, then you're like, I have no idea.
Every time we probably come back, like, oh, I'm in a wrestler. Bach. Okay, I don't know where I am again.
Yeah, you hear Brock Lesnar whisper in the air, German. Like, no, no, just pin me first.
Stop doing that. But no,
I believe you should go watch The Last Ride. Watch it twice, watch it 3 times. You're gonna miss a bunch of stuff. Ratings, how are we doing on it?
What do you mean rating?
Out of 5.
Out of 5? 5.
5 stars?
I thought it was a world-class documentary. Yeah, I really thought it was.
I'll give it a 5.
I'm giving it a 5 for the sole fact that I got to see The Undertaker say Kobe.
That was amazing.
When he went to go throw it in the trash.
He said it in like the most like Kobe. Deadpan Kobe.
Yeah. Also, another moment that I would say was made a 5-star when he talked about his father.
Oh yeah.
And he was like how he misses his father. To watch the Undertaker almost cry about reminiscing about his father. It's just, we forget that this man is a man. At the end of the day,
it was Mark.
Yeah. And
yo, to see Vince McMahon when they asked him what does basically Mark Calloway mean to him, and he couldn't even like get a word out, and told him to cut the cameras off. Like, this is a guy. If you ask him about like Stephanie and Shane, like, oh, they're good kids. But you ask him about Mark, it's like, McCann.
You don't see how happy Vince gets around.
Yeah, it's like his
just
brother.
When Mark enters the room, he lights up
to a kid. Yeah,
because I think one, you gave this guy a gimmick you actually love. You love the Undertaker gimmick, you give it to him, and then you see this guy embrace it and take it to its fullest potential and respect it. Okay, I'm not Undertaker. When anybody else could have just went, this is bullshit. I'm a dead nigga. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying?
He fully committed.
Also commits to your character, but then also commits to your company. You know, it's not like he was brought up in the developmental system and wasn't somewhere else.
He even said it when they had the whole issue last year with the StarCast thing. He didn't know that it was affiliated or loosely affiliated EW.
Yeah.
So when he got on the phone with Vince, it's like, no, I'm not even thinking about ever leaving. I just, I had no idea it had anything to do with it. And then they had a falling out for a little bit, but they're good now. But
and I like how it still looks like in the Undertaker's mind that was ridiculous on Vince's part.
Right.
He was like,
why would you think I was leaving? That's so dumb.
I also realized that Vince not only just loves him, the Undertaker character, and how well he treated that character, but he loves him because he's his number one soldier.
Yeah.
And you realize that in this documentary. The Undertaker was the person that was going to go.
Almost everyone has left.
And set it straight. Like, yo, this is what we're doing. Even if you don't like what Vince says, but he said it. Like,
I think the only people who have like never really left him worker wise are like Triple H, Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, and that's about it.
Can't even say Stone Cold because that dude he said, I'm going home, baby. I'm going. I would say he never left him for another company, but he did go home.
Right.
He did go home.
I'm talking about like guys who they always just stuck around. They never went anywhere. It wasn't even like Triple H is going to WCW. Shawn Michaels almost with the rest of the guys.
But that's why I brought up Steve Austin, because I feel like if it wasn't for the ball and chain thing that happened, he would have the clean record too. Yeah. Because he was in WCW, he was in ECW, but once he got to WWE, he never was.
No, he stuck around. He always stuck around.
And but Undertaker, you have to remember, this is a dude whose first WWE title match was against Hulk Hogan. Yeah. That's how long you've been wrestling, bro. Yeah. Your first title match, which you won, was against Hulk Hogan. And we're not talking about washed Hogan.
Prime, a little bit past prime.
Oh, yeah. This is like past, I would say, 85 to 88 is prime Hogan.
Yeah.
Maybe even a little 89. 90 is like, and I'm still right there. Like, I'm still a part of his main picture. You went against that type of Hogan. You know what I'm saying? You know, Psycho Sid, Damien Demento, Mankind, The Rock, Stone Cold, Kurt Angle, and then newer guy Christian, Edge, Randy Orton. But his whole resume of guys he's faced is a who's who from 1990 all the way to now. Yeah. And to get the AJ Styles match to be your last match, you faced the best wrestlers that you possibly could in the time that you've been in.
Of all eras. The only one guy, Sting, is a real shame.
Why did you have to make me feel bad?
Was a real shame.
Why did you have to make me feel bad?
It's just the one guy.
My whole point was that and then you just shit on it. Why?
The man called Sting is the one guy that we all wish that they got an opportunity to get.
Now I feel bad. Now, I'm sorry, brother. I gotta tell you.
If they can do
you gotta come out of retirement, old bastard.
If they could do a cinematic match next year, I don't want to see them do an actual.
I do. I want to see two people.
That's a train wreck.
I want to see two. It's a Geritol on a pole match.
No, because you know what it is? It's going to be super glaring because both of them are older. Yeah. And it's one thing if one of them is facing a younger guy, but the speed that they wrestle is going to be so much slower than any other match on that
They were
card.
fast.
Right. So,
yeah, you're right. Cinematic match. Okay, so Undertaker got to come out of retirement for one more match. It's a cinematic match between Sting and The Undertaker at WrestleMania. What is this, 37?
Whatever it is. It's probably going to be an empty arena again.
It's probably going to be an PC. Yeah. Let's get it. Woo! I love the PC.
Speaking of crowds, when there were crowds, we're up to our match of the week this week. Which is yours?
I basically wanted us to review matches because I feel like we're missing crowd interaction. So we should just, show people matches that had, remember when crowds used to watch wrestling?
Yeah, crowds was a thing.
I think the crowd response for my match and the actual match itself was so good between Randy Savage and Diamond Dallas Page Bang at 1997's Spring Stampede that I just think it would be a good remembrance for people to be like, this is why we fell in love with wrestling. Yep. This is why we love wrestling. It's a great match. DDP goes over in this match, if I'm remembering correctly, and it's actually accompanied with a great story that Diamond Dallas Page tells. If I'm correct, if this is the match. If I'm not, well, fuck it, sue me. But Diamond Dallas Page basically says that Randy Orton. It's the same dude. Yeah. He just changed everything. His face, everything.
Randy Savage.
Yes, Randy Savage. Basically, they were sitting in the locker room, and I think Randy Savage was supposed to win the match, but Randy Savage had creative control. So he looks at Diamond Dallas Page and he says, I think I'll be taking Diamond Cutter. And Diamond Dallas Page was like, this is a big deal in my career. Because people forget this about Diamond Dallas Page. 96, 97, that's when he started to ascend.
Yeah, he was one of the most over guys in the business.
And he's 40 years old.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
he started mad late.
Yeah, he started wrestling late. I always say that Diamond Dallas Page is one of my top 10 favorite wrestlers of all time.
Really?
Because, this is the storyline. The storyline that you started so late in your career. Like, he's the same age, I think, or even older than Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
That's wild. And you're coming in as a rookie in the 90s while Hogan is like Hogan.
Right.
And then you're going to get feuds with guys like Randy who are the same age as you, but give or take 5 years or so.
Far more cred.
Yeah, just way more. And you're still learning. For you to end up being as good as Diamond Dallas Page ended up, man, you got to give him respect. He put that old body through. Man, that's why I got his yoga program. Because if you was doing rejuvenating things back in the 90s, only time will tell with technology where you're gonna go, brother. So I'm gonna follow you. Everybody, get DDP Yoga.
You please sponsor us, DDP Yoga. If you don't,
If you don't, I'm returning those tapes.
I'm gonna just censor the name out. It's like, man, we love a big bleep to say.
Man, we love. What's your match of the week, though?
My match of the week, I actually came across it on Instagram from 2017, I want to say. As Penta El Zero M, or Pentagon Jr., as most people know in AEW, versus Matthew Riddle, as he was going by when he first started his career. I mean, that's his name, but now he's strictly just Matt Riddle on Smackdown. It was an awesome match at the 2017 BOLA Battle of Los Angeles for PWG. If anyone knows that era of PWG, this is before AEW, before NXT was a real thing. A lot of the best indie guys were there. I mean, it's still there, but, Corona's a thing. But top-notch talent, top-notch execution. Probably one of the biggest reasons why both of them have deals today. They went full stop, bunch of slaps, bunch of chops. Both guys have improved, but this match was amazing. It's as hard hitting as you're gonna get in America. So,
well, I guess I'm gonna change my match of the week to Okada versus Omega just to compete. I didn't know you were gonna go. Why we were gonna go this big? He's like, oh, they went full stop. Oh, they did all the things. And I'm presenting y'all with Randy Savage, Diamond Dallas Page, which is an amazing match.
That wasn't a bad match.
But I'm just saying, if y'all probably watch Pentagon Jr. versus Matt Riddle, and make sure that you watch the Randy Savage match
first. Watch that first, yeah.
And then you watch the Pentagon Jr. and Matt Riddle match second. Because then you're going to be
really disappointed.
Trash.
Yeah, really
I like bringing up old stuff.
Yeah.
I think we should always do that. Yeah. You should be the guy that brings up great indie matches, and I'll be the guy that brings up. This is a slaughter. This is Sergeant Slaughter. Sergeant Slaughter match from God knows when. It's a dark match. He's going against Ray Jr. Santiago, and it's a great squash match.
So, guys,
from 1984.
Those are our matches this week. Go check them out. I promised to do it last week and I didn't, but I will do it this week. I will repost it on our Instagram page at Welcome Back Wrestling.
Now we got 3 episodes, so you can actually put each episode in a block, and it'd be awesome. Yeah. Is that your plan all the time?
Yeah, that's totally my plan.
Oh, yeah, diabolical genius.
It is.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't. But you can now.
Please share us. We're on iTunes. You should be listening to us there, or Stitcher, or iHeartRadio, or Podbean, anywhere. We're everywhere now. So, and on our website, greyhousevision.com. Please leave us a review. It helps a bunch.
Yes, review, subscribe, comment, share. Tell your grandmother to get up out of her wheelchair and just listen. All she has to do is press the play button and let it run. We still get the view for that. But Jesse wants me to stop talking, so I'm going to not do that anymore.
We'll talk to you next week.